Hey guys, welcome along to a new episode of Sceammeupbotty. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting into Star Trek the original series in this episode, and this is MUDD's Woman. Now, I would have had this episode up a lot sooner, but I was literally sitting down to record it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to check up this episode because I just wanted to be sure it was the right one, because MUDD is on quite a few Star Trek episodes, and MUDD's Woman is a completely different episode than the one I was expecting it to be, so that's why I didn't get it out on time, but we're going to do it in this episode. Alright legends, this is MUDD's Woman. It's episode 6 of season 1 of the original series of Star Trek. It was written by Stephen Kandel, based on a story by Gene Roddenberry, directed by Harvey Hart, and it first aired October 13th, 1966. At the beginning of the episode, the Enterprise, under the command of Captain Kirk, of course, is in pursuit of an unregistered cargo spaceship, and during the escape attempt, the cargo ship is no match for the Enterprise, and its engines begin to overload, and it gets stuck in an asteroid field. So to save the crew of the ship, Kirk orders the Enterprise shields to be extended around their spacecraft to protect it until they can get everybody transported over to the Enterprise. And this action destroys all but one of the lithium crystal circuits and the Enterprise's warp engines. So to save this crew, they've pretty much stranded themselves in space, and of course the Enterprise gets free passengers and their captain on board, just as an asteroid actually destroys their spacecraft. In the transport room, the captain gives his name as Leo Walsh, and the free women who accompany him are stunningly beautiful, and they distract all the male crew members of the Enterprise, apart from Mr. Spock, who's he's half Vulcan, half human, and his heritage, his Vulcan heritage, makes him immune to the female charms. The women, they're intended as wives for settlers on the planet Ficus 3, I want to say. And they're introduced as Ruth Bonaventura, Eve McHuron, and Magda Cavax. I am terrible at names. I probably butchered all of those. In all fairness, it's been a few nights since I watched the episode, so I can't even bloody recall the pronunciation of any of these. All three signed on with Walsh to escape a situation in which their marriage prospects were slim or non-existent. Kirk convenes a hearing on board the Enterprise to put the captain of the ship on trial, essentially, this Captain Walsh guy. And during the hearing, the ship's computer contradicts Walsh's testimony, reporting that the ship's master license has been revoked and forcing him to reveal his true name, Harcourt Fenton Mudd. The man is a flippin' legend. Now, Mudd is one of these characters that you're either gonna... I don't think there's any middle ground with Mudd. Just he is either love him or hate him sort of a character, but I have a lot of time for him. It's, in all fairness, whenever you see an episode that has him in it, you kind of think to yourself, oh gosh, it's going to be one of these episodes, but by the end of it, the man is that damn entertaining. And these old episodes, that's great. I love it. Anyway, pretty much the Enterprise computer outs him as MUDD, a criminal with an extensive record, and the hearing ends as the final lithium crystal fails on the Enterprise. Without those crystals, the Enterprise must limp in reserve power to a storm-plagued planet to obtain new crystals from the miners there. Ben Childress, the chief miner, having been in contact with MUDD, demands his release along with the woman in exchange for the crystals. So MUDD, even, at this point, he's trying to, he's contacted this planet without the knowledge of Kirk or the crew, and he's trying to one-up them again, screw them over, and only the way that Harry Mudd can do. This guy, he demands the release of Mudd along with the woman in exchange for the crystals. The Enterprise, there's a new word for you. The Enterprise's remaining power is insufficient to maintain the ship's orbit for more than a few days, and that, basically, once they start running out of power, they're going to start dropping an altitude, which would be a fiery re-entry into the planet's atmosphere. So that would be the end of the Enterprise and the crew. So Kirk, he's forced to allow Mudd and the woman to beam down to the planet. However, once there, Childress reneges on the deal. He's just like, no, screw this shit. At an impromptu party with the free miners, one of the women, Eve, becomes angry when they begin fighting over the other two women, and she runs away into a magnetic dust storm with Childress and Kirk in pursuit. Kirk beams back to the Enterprise to try and locate them from orbit. This miner, Childress, he finds Eve, brings her to his quarters, and he falls asleep, and when he wakes up, he's confronted with a much plainer Eve. Kirk and Mudd, they beam back down to the planet to deal with Childress, and the captain reveals that Mudd has been given the woman the Venus drug, which it creates an illusion of beauty, essentially, and that the other two miners have already been married to Ruth and Magda. As Childress confronts Mudd over the deception, Eve snatches a dose of what appears to be the Venus drug, but is in fact a placebo, and she takes him. This restores her self-confidence to the point that Childress finds her as attractive as before. Pleased, he gives Kirk the replacement crystals, and Kirk offers to take Eve away with him, but she opts to stay with Childress. Eve tells Kirk, "You've got someone up there. She's called the Enterprise." And the ship continues on its way with Mudd in custody. Now, what I did really enjoy about this episode was that ending sequence there, when there's a whole moment between this miner, Childress, and this woman, Eve, and literally you can see the physical difference whenever they're not on drugs. They just look. It was pretty much like, just no makeup. But whenever they take this drug, it's just like they've been in the makeup chair for like 3 hours, and just everything's perfect, not a hair out of place and whatnot. And what I did enjoy about the end of the episode is whenever she takes this drug again to make herself more appealing to this miner. It's like, is this what you want, sort of thing? Is this fake me, blah blah blah. And then it's revealed that she didn't in fact take the Venus drug. It was a placebo, and it was just the thought that she could be this person made her be the person. It's just, the whole little part of the storyline where it's just like, believe in yourself and you can be whatever the hell you want to be. It's just something that I wasn't expecting at the end of the episode. And just, people have given Star Trek, and I don't want to say abuse, but it's a show that was made way back in the 60s, and as far as the stuff that people did back then might be not frowned upon now, but it's more, like the female rights weren't as high back then as they are now, and it was very apparent on a lot of episodes in Star Trek, but this one here was just, it was tasty in the way it was handled, and just this woman and her self-confidence just made her be the person that she always wanted to be at the end of the episode, basically. And she didn't have to try to be what she actually was. It was just her self-confidence that was sort of holding her down. But that's what I kind of took from it. But all episodes, not just of Star Trek, but everything is subjective to the viewer. So I enjoyed the crap out of this episode. Probably not one of the strongest of season 1, but it's always fun to have MUDD on there. It's it's you're either going to love or hate an episode of Harry MUDD, and the episode that I was thinking that this one was and it wasn't, I'm looking forward to that one, because there's whenever, and this is probably something that's going to be frowned upon nowadays of the whole PC culture thing and whatnot, but whenever MUDD's wife is referenced in Star Trek, as the humour there really does hit home with me, because I'm 42 years old. I've been out there, I've lived life, and I have been married, and I'm now divorced. So whenever the humour of a husband and wife situation comes up and something, and it's something that you can kind of relate to, it is good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that episode. I don't even remember what the title of it is. I'm not even going to attempt to look it up now. We'll just enjoy it when we get there. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I will talk to you again in the next one, and we're going to be doing some more of season 1 of Star Trek Picard. So until then, guys, stay safe. This has been a production of Coins Age Media. Thank you